There was a boy who thought so much he forgot how to live. Every morning he woke up tired, not because he worked hard, but because his mind never slept. While others moved forward, he stood still, trapped inside his own head. This is his story. His name was Arjun, 22 years old. No job, no direction. He lived in a small room with a broken window and a bed that never felt comfortable. His mother would ask him, "What are you going to do with your life?" And he would say, "I'm thinking about it." But the truth, he was always thinking about everything, about nothing. What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I'm not good enough? Every idea died before it was born. Every dream suffocated under the weight of his own thoughts. He wanted to start, but his mind wouldn't let him. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and Arjun became a prisoner of his own brain. One evening, his friend called him. "Arjun, I got a job, finally. It's not big, but it's something. What about you?" Arjun forced to smile through the phone. "I'm working on something, soon." But when he hung up, the room felt smaller. The silence felt louder. He sat on the floor and stared at the wall. Why can't I just do something? Anything? He opened his laptop, started typing, then stopped. What if this idea is stupid? What if no one cares? Deleted everything. He tried again. Same result. His hands were ready. His mind was the problem. That night, he couldn't sleep. His thoughts were like a storm with no end. You're wasting your life. You're falling behind. Everyone is moving except you. He covered his ears, but the voice was inside. There was no escape. The next morning, exhausted and broken, Arjun went for a walk. He didn't know where, he just walked. And then he saw him, an old man, sitting alone on a bench near the river, eyes closed, completely still. Arjun sat down on the other end of the bench. He couldn't help but stare. The old man didn't move, didn't think, didn't worry. After a long silence, the old man opened his eyes and looked at Arjun. "You think too much," he said. Arjun froze. "How do you know?" The old man smiled. "Because I can see it on your face. The exhaustion, the fear, the noise." Arjun looked away. "I don't know how to stop." The old man pointed at the river. "See that water? It doesn't think about where it's going. It just flows, and somehow it always reaches the ocean." Arjun stared at the river, moving, unstoppable, silent. The old man continued, "Your mind is not your enemy, but when you let it control you, it becomes your prison." He stood up slowly and said one last thing before walking away. "Stop thinking about living, just live." Arjun sat there for hours, watching the river, listening to the silence. For the first time in years, his mind felt quiet. He realized something. He wasn't stuck because he didn't know what to do. He was stuck because he was afraid to do anything. Every thought was a delay. Every question was a chain. He had spent so much time preparing to live that he forgot to actually start. That night, Arjun didn't open his laptop to think. He opened it to create. No planning, no overthinking, just action. He wrote, badly at first, but he didn't stop. He didn't ask, "Is this good enough?" He just kept going. Days passed, then weeks. Arjun was no longer the boy who thought endlessly. He became the man who moved silently. He stopped waiting for the perfect moment. He made the moment. He stopped fearing failure. He welcomed it as proof that he tried. His mind still spoke, but now he was in control. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Overthinking is not intelligence. It's fear disguised as caution. Your mind will always find reasons to stop you. That's its job, to protect you. But protection without action is just another word for paralysis. You don't need the perfect plan. You don't need all the answers. You need to move. Because the river doesn't think, it flows. The bird doesn't doubt, it flies. And you were not born to live inside your head. You were born to live. Arjun still lives in that small room. The window is still broken, but he is no longer broken. He doesn't have all the answers, but he stopped waiting for them. He learned that silence is not emptiness, it's clarity. And the moment he stopped thinking about his life and started living it, everything changed. So if you're stuck, if your mind won't let you rest, if you feel like you're drowning in your own thoughts, remember this. The boy who couldn't stop thinking finally went silent, and in that silence, he found himself. If this story touched you, like, share, and subscribe for more stories that help you become who you're meant to be.